Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to Rahman Digital Production. This is lecture number 78 of mathematics. In today's lecture, we are going to talk about quadrilaterals. Now, quadrilaterals are shapes that contains four angles, and the sum of all those angles is equal to 360 degrees. About the quadrilaterals, there is only one theorem, and that is the sum of interior angles of a quadrilateral is equal to 360 degree. Now, quadrilateral is a general name by itself. There is no quadrilateral, but it is given a name to different shapes in which we are having rectangle, kite, square, trapezium, parallelogram, and rhombus. All these shapes are falling in the category of quadrilateral. So, quadrilateral are of different types. We are discussing in today's lecture only the three types of quadrilaterals, and in the subsequent lecture we will discuss the all other. Why discussing these three types today? Because we will solve questions which are of basic levels on these three types of quadrilaterals. So let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I have to tell you that quadrilateral is named by taking the vertices either in clockwise direction or in anti-clockwise order. So here it is A, B, C, D. That is in anti-clockwise direction. But you can take all these vertices as A here, B here, C here, and D here as well, which will be in clockwise direction. So keep that in mind that quadrilaterals is named by taking the vertices either in a clockwise or anti-clockwise order. Now let us first discuss the properties of rectangle. You know from the knowledge of your primary school that rectangles are quadrilaterals in which opposite sides are equal, and there is a one important other property as well, and that is that all the angles of a rectangle is equal to 90 degrees. So let's talk about that one by one. The first one is there are two pairs of parallel lines. You can see that this line is parallel to this line, and this line is parallel to this line. So keep this in mind. Opposite sides are equal. Now this side will be equal to this side, and this side will be equal to this side as well. This is the second property. They are equal in length. Third property is all four angles are right angles. You can see that I labeled it with these red small squares, and they are denoting that all the angles of rectangle is equal to 90 degree. Dear learners, please keep these things in mind because we will use these properties in the solution of questions in the exercise. The fourth property is the two diagonals are equal in length. Now, this diagonal will be equal to this diagonal. Both are equal. Very important piece of information. You have to keep this in mind. The fifth one and the last one is diagonal bisect each other. This diagonal will bisect the other one and they will divide it into two equal parts. Remember, bisects means by two sect section. So it is one diagonal is dividing the other diagonal into equal section and technical name is bisect. Now this one will divide this into equal parts. Remember this one as well, because the first question of the exercise is based on this shape, which is a quadrilateral. Now we are talking about the parallelogram. There are few similarities between parallelograms and the rectangles. Both are quadrilaterals. When you tilt the rectangle on one side, then you will get a parallelogram. There are two pairs of parallel lines. That was also the case in rectangle, and this is also the case in this parallelogram. Two pairs there, two pairs here. The second property, which is also common in both rectangle and parallelogram, opposite sides are equal in length. If all the sides are equal in length, then that type of figure is called rhombus. The third one is, which is different from the rectangle, opposite angles are equal in length. Now I specified the angles of a parallelogram with different colors. So this angle will be equal to this angle, and this angle will be equal to this angle. Keep this in mind. In rectangle, all the angles are of 90 degrees, but here in this case the opposite angles are always equal, which is the third property. Now the fourth property is diagonals bisect each other. That is also the same to the rectangle. Now one diagonal will bisect the other diagonal into equal length. So this is also the property of a rectangle as well. So here we are turning our focus to the third, and that is the third type of quadrilateral. Now the name given to it is kite, because they portray the kite almost. So the first property of kite is the opposite side may be parallel. It means that this side may be parallel to this side, but it is not mandatory. In our case, they will be parallel, and this side will be parallel to this side, and that what the first property of kite is pointing to. The second property is there are two pairs of equal adjacent side. Now this side is equal to this side and this side is equal to this side. They are adjacent sides. So that is why they are telling in the second property there are two pair of equal adjacent sides. The third property is diagonals cut each other right angle. Now you can see that I pointed out here as a 90 degree. Now this angle and these three angles are also equal to 90 degree. These properties will help us in solving the questions. If you are not familiar with these properties, you won't be able to solve the questions in the exercise. Now let's turn our focus to the exercise, and that is 11b. In the first part of question 11b, we are dealing with the rectangles. That is why we studied rectangle in detail with the help of the properties. So the first question is saying find the values of the unknowns in each of the following rectangles. Now rectangles is given to us and we named it A, B, C, D. There are two pairs of angles which needs to be found and they are A degree and B degree. One angle 54 is given to us as you can see. So can I write A degree plus 54 degree is equal to 90 degree? Because all the angles of a rectangle is equal to 90 degree. So we are writing that due to the property that all the angles of a rectangle is 90 degree, if I am going to refer to it, then they are saying in the third one that four angles are right angles. So that is why I told you that keeping in mind these properties, we will find the values. So now A degree is equal to 90 degree minus 54 degree, and if we subtract that from each other we will get 36 degree. So we found the value of A remaining in the context of those values. Now if we found A, so can we found the B value to be 36 as well, and we will utilize our previous knowledge, and that is alternate angles, because these are the parallel line and you can consider this one as a traversal line. So it means that A degree will be equal to B degree due to the alternate theorem, and that is why we wrote it here. Now let's turn our focus to question number B. The rectangle is given in the form of an envelope. So that is A, B, C, D and E. Different angles are given for the solution purpose. Now let's devise a strategy. First of all, there are two unknowns, and that is C and D. First of all, we have to find the value of C. And let's do that. We are writing ABC EBC angle. EBC angle, and you know that that is equal to 90 degree, and that is by the theorem and the property, I should say, that all the angle of a rectangle is equal to 90. So this one is no exception, and we labeled it to be 90 degree. That is why we are saying, because why we are finding this, because we are only concentrating on this triangle in which there is C degree. Now we can find that 90 degree plus 39 degree plus C degree is equal to 180 degree, and that is angle sum of triangle we learned in the previous theorem. So here, ladies and gentlemen, now C degree is equal to 180 degree, negative of 39 degree, and negative of 90 degree, which is equal to 51 degree. Now we have to find D angle, and for D angle, first we have to find this angle. First we have to find this angle. Let me this one. This angle is given to us, and as a result we can find this angle. So this should be our strategy to find the value of what? DCE. So can I write it as DCE plus 39 plus 39 degree is equal to 90 degree. So in this context, DCE will be equal to 51 degree. 51 degree. Now ladies and gentlemen, I am writing it at this place. We can write D degree plus 78 degree plus 51 degree is equal to 180 degree. Angle sum of a triangle CDE. So we are calculating it, and when we calculate it, we will get that D angle, DCE angle to be equal to DC angle will be equal to 51 as well. So it means that we found D angle to be 51 degree and C was also 51 degree. So both of these are equal to 51 degree. Now let's turn our focus to the second question, in which we will deal with the parallelogram. Now we studied the properties of parallelogram for these questions, and I will refer to it. Now rectangles and parallelograms are 50% the same, but there are major differences between the two as well, and we discussed that in the properties listening session. Let us focus on the question. In part A, a parallelogram is given in which you can see AD line is parallel to BC and AB line is parallel to DC line. Now we have to find A, and that is super class easy. A piece of cake. A degree is equal to 100 degree. Opposite angles of parallelogram are equal. We studied that, and let me refer to that properties of parallelogram, which is third number. Opposite angles are equal in length. So ladies and gentlemen, you can see that this angle is opposite to this angle, and as a result we can write that A degree is equal to 100 degree. Now the second one is also super class easy, and that is also one line. B degree is equal to 48 because of the alternate angles of two parallel lines. Now you have to consider this AB and DC parallel line, and this will be the transversal line. So it means that this angle will be equal to this angle by the theorem alternate angles, and we discussed that in greater detail in the previous lectures. If you want to see my previous lectures, go to the lecture and learn it. Now that was the whole story about part number A. Now we are going to discuss part number B. This is not C, this is part number B. So no diagonal is given in this particular scenario, and one angle is given as 5 degree, and then it is given as 2D degree and 4C degree. Now if we are going to find first the value of C, first the values of C. Now this is not E degree, it is given as C degree, 5C degree. Now can I write this as 5C degree plus 4C degree, and that is equal to 180 degree? How? That is internal angles theorem we studied. So that will be equal to 9C degree is equal to 180 degree, and C degree will be equal to 20 degree. Now that's it for this C degree. Now it is the turn of D degree. Now D degree, 2D degree is equal to, can I write it like this? 2D degree is equal to 4C degree, and that is opposite angles are equal. We studied the properties in the parallelogram that this is equal. Now 2D degree, and we found C to be 20 degree in this case. So we inserted that value, and that will be equal to 80 degree. So we are getting D to be 40 degree. dividing both sides by this 2. So we are getting this. Now let us turn our focus to question number 3, and question number 3 is on kite, and this is the last question of basic level question. So let us conclude that as well. Keeping in mind the properties of kites, we have to deal with it. There are two angles given to us, that is 61 degree and 100 degrees. We have to find the value of A degree and B degree. So let's start with it. We can say, according to the properties, that A degree plus 100 degree is equal to plus A degree is equal to what? That will be equal to 180 degree, and we are writing it angle sum of triangle. Now you can see that because this is equal to this one, and you know that from the properties of kite, so it means that it is an isosceles triangle, and the base angle, this one is A and this one is also A, and I wrote this A and 100, that must be equal to what? That must be equal to 180 degree. So now I can write it as 2A degree plus 100 degree is equal to 180 degree. So 2A degree is equal to 80 degree, and it means that A degree is equal to 40 degree. We are finding the value of this A. Now let's move our focus to part number B, and that is saying that find the value of C degree. Now the students are always confusing themselves with the figure, because this figure is not given vertically, it is given horizontally. Then they are confusing themselves. It is not that much. So can I write 40 degree plus 26 degree plus C degree is equal to 180 degree? I am saying that this is 40 degree, this one, and this is 26 degree, and this is C degree, and that will be equal to 180. But you will ask the question that this 40 is in another triangle. So I told you that this is bisecting the kite into two equal. So this will also be equal to 40. If that is equal to 40, then this one will also be equal to 40 degree, because we know from the properties one diagonal bisect the interior angles. This is a diagonal, let me write, one diagonal bisects the angle, and this is a diagonal line, and they are bisecting this angle in two equal parts. So if this is 40, this will also be 40. So that is why I wrote 40, 26 plus C is equal to 180 degree. And now the rest is just a matter of calculation. So I am writing minus 40 minus 26 degree, and in this case we will get the ultimate answer to be 140 degree. So this is the whole story about the today's lecture, and I'm afraid that I have to conclude it right now, because in tomorrow's lecture we will deal with the squares, and we haven't yet studied the properties of square. So wait for that and stick to this channel. If you haven't subscribed my channel, subscribe it so that you will be notified immediately when I upload the video. Thank you very much for your time. Allah Hafiz.